Passaggio.
Cut that out! Cut that out!
Hey, this is Scott, and I'm back with another review of the Zondervan large print Thinline Passaggio. I think you'll like this Bible. It's one of the few that has paragraph format, and it's just a little holiday treat for me. And you might want to pick this up for yourself or a loved one. Sometimes we get these New American Standards, and they are all verse format, and they make really good Bibles for teaching and preaching. But then you look for something around the house that you can just sit there in your recliner or lay there on the couch, lay in the bed and just read and gobble up large quantities of text for your Bible reading plan. And sometimes verse format isn't the best for that. But you know what? That's why we have the Thinline Passaggio right here. And Zondervan has put out an excellent product, and I'm excited to show it to you because I think you're really going to love it. So get one of these for yourself, get one of these for your kiddo or your loved one, whomever it is, and say, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." Hey, this is Scott with a review of the New American Standard. This is the 95 text Thinline Bible. It's a large print Passaggio setting, and there's a difference between this one and the last one, which is the Heritage version, because the Heritage is verse by verse, but this one is paragraph format, Passaggio setting, if you will. Here are the facts. I want to start with my examination. Here are the facts. It's the black Leathersoft. The ISBN is right here. Here's the ISBN. The price is $34 right now, maybe 50-ish is the MSRP. As for the dimensions of this Bible, we have 24.5 centimeters in height. That's 9 5/8 inches. The width is 16.8 centimeters. That is 6 5/8 of an inch. And the thickness is 3.0 centimeters. That is 1 3/16 in American terms. And for you Gentiles, again, that was 3 centimeters thick. If we open up and look at the page height is 23 centimeters, or 23.3 centimeters. That's 9 1/8 of an inch high. The width is 15.4 centimeters. That's 6 inches wide. Moving from the facts to the fashion, we got this nice clamshell box, a bunch of clams in it. Clamshell box has some of the features here on the back. I'll show you the features. It has a paper liner. This is a little gray, sort of brushed gray. It looks pretty attractive, I think. Not overdone. It has gold gilding on the page edges. So look at that gold gilding. There we go. Nice gold gilding. I wanted to show you the ribbons before I pull them out. Here's a good look at them. Zoom in here, and yeah. You see how they're folded in like that? I haven't moved them yet. They are folded in half and tucked down in there, and you can see the little gap in the gilding there where the page is sort of held open, and that's going to be permanent. And even whenever I remove the ribbons, that gap is still going to be there. Let me pull these out. You see where this one's twisted down in here, so that's going to be a permanent wrinkle. You can get these wrinkles out, though, if you are interested in doing so. You can get these wrinkles out, or these creases out, by a little flat iron on a low setting. They are single-sided satin, and maybe you can see that. Single-sided satin, and it's a different, there's no satin on the backside. Okay, so pull that one out. There's the gold one. The gold one looks good down the crease, or down the gutter. So it's not folded there. You will notice, whenever I pull this out, they do leave a little crease in the paper. And I think that's pretty much unavoidable. but it's not that bad. It's not too noticeable, I don't think, but there is a little crease. Title page. Here's the copyright page. You want to see those details? Table of contents. Books of the Bible, alphabetical order. Here's the publisher's preface. The prose sections are set in single column, designed to be read easily like a novel. The poetry sections are set in double column to bring a compact crispness to the reading of this literary text. We hope you enjoy your Passaggio setting Bible and that you agree with us that this setting is successful in making a clear and beautiful transition between single and double column text settings. Here's a traditional foreword and preface. Principles of translation. Explanation, abbreviations, and Old Testament. Here's a good look at this Old Testament page. I like to look at the Old Testament and especially the New Testament page to get an idea of the ghosting. And here is the New Testament page for your viewing pleasure. While I'm here, I suppose I could show you the red letter text. That's a nice wine, grape juice looking, dark grape juice red. It's not pink, so I can appreciate that. I think Zondervan does a pretty good job on the red letter here. When you look in Hebrews, the reason I turn to Hebrews is because there's a lot of Old Testament quotations in Hebrews. There are no cross-references. So I like to have footnotes, all the footnotes, because I think that they are part of the translation. And I like to have quote references, not 90,000, 120,000 cross-references, but quote references. So I want to know if this is Psalm 110. I don't want to have to write in my Bible to give myself a note to remember that. I'd like to have it all there. But you understand the concept of this Bible. The concept is, how do we take the thin line, verse by verse, and make it into a paragraph Bible? That's this. That's exactly what it is. And it does a great job in doing that. Maybe there's too many words per line, but what else are you going to do? You know, that's the shape of the Bible. So by comparison, we can see that, this is essentially the same format here, except for in the large print thin line, we have our paragraph format right here with verse 1, and it's all just sort of bundled up in that one little section there, whereas in the Passaggio, it goes all the way across the page. Well, how does this function for us? Does it give us more words per page? Does it fit better? Well, there's a difference here between these two Bibles. The Passaggio has an 11-point font, whereas there's a smaller, I think, 10.5 font in the large print thin line. Yes. 10.5 font in the large print thin line. So you're going to get more words per page in a smaller font, obviously. So this goes down to verse 17. This only gets us through verse 11. Notice the paper looks exactly the same. They're both beautiful. They're both great layouts. They have a beautiful font. The paper is nice and white. There's no blue gutter. It's a New American Standard Bible without a blue gutter. That in itself makes people happy, and we appreciate Zondervan for finding paper that is just pleasant to read, pleasant to the eyes, and it's not overly expensive. By comparison with the Heritage version of this Bible, you have the different paper, the nice smoother paper. It's not like there's no ghosting on this paper, though. There's some ghosting. I don't think the ghosting is really much better on one versus the other. But this is this nicer, smoother, and actually it's denser paper. And you do have the two color setting, the gold and the blue. Okay, so it's a little bit prettier, isn't it? It's obviously prettier, but it looks exactly the same in Isaiah. These two Bibles look exactly the same in Isaiah. Whereas the large print has an 11-point font, the Heritage Version has a 10-point font. There are footnotes in this Bible, the abbreviated set of footnotes. And this is exactly what you will find in the large print Thinline. So there's the abbreviated set of footnotes in that. And now let's take a look at the end matter in this Bible. We have the miracles of Jesus, the parables of Jesus, perspectives from the Bible on both sides there. We have prayers of the Bible, continued on the other side and the next page. And finally, we have the 2K Denmark note. And again, the gray end page. This is a paste down. The fold over of the paste down is 1.7 centimeters wide. That's the size of the fold over there. Here's a look at the spine. It's a really pretty Bible. It's attractive. Can't go wrong with it, really. I think that the Leathersoft, whatever they're doing, they're getting better. They keep on getting better. So here's the large print Thinline, and I thought, man, that really looks pretty good, you know. It has that real leather look, and then boom, how about some grain to that? So they pressed some grain in there, and it just looks like the real thing. Of course, you can feel a difference. You're immediately going to feel the difference between that and genuine leather. And you immediately feel the difference. But consider the grain on the genuine Buffalo, and then the grain look on the Leathersoft. Okay? It has perimeter stitching, machine work. So it looks good to me. I'm happy with it. I mean, overall, this is a really, really nice Bible. And how many Bibles are there in the New American Standard where you got this nice paragraph setting? I mean, the New American Standard, most of the Bibles are going to be verse format. And if you're like me, sometimes you want something in paragraph format so you can do your Bible reading, your long read Bible readings. And I've been going through Numbers with the kiddos at night. And so it's been enjoyable to me to read out of this. Evaluation. Like it, love it, or leave it. Like it. I like the black Leathersoft. It looks good. I mean, I've not seen a Leathersoft that actually looks better than this. This is good looking stuff, and people are looking for Bibles like this that look great, that feel great, but they're not exorbitant in the cost of the Bible. So I like this. I really do. Hey, thumbs up. I like the black Leathersoft. The paper is good enough. The paper is nice and white. Makes me think of a lot of ESV Bibles that just look really nice. And they have nice white paper, and it's what you expect, and it's nothing less than what you expect. That's the big deal. It's nothing less than what you expect. It looks good. The line matching is great. The red letter printing is great. The font is great. The font size is great. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like the curved spine also. There's a curved spine to this Bible, and I like that feature. It's a slight curve, okay? It's a slight curve, but I like it. Over with the large print Thinline, there's not so much of a curve in it, and maybe it's because it's thinner. Maybe that's the deal. It's thinner, so there's not as much of a curve in this large print Thinline, but there's a little bit of a curve, a little bit concave to the page edges there. I like it. I like the curved spine. Love it. I love the price tag. It's only $10 more than the large print Thinline. Let's see. The large print Thinline is $23.99 with a 10.5 font. And this is $34 with an 11-point font in paragraph format. These Bibles, they're obviously companion Bibles. We have the double column verse format. We have the paragraph format. And you know they had to just be sitting there saying, how do we turn this Bible into a paragraph format? Boom, they did it. They kept the poetry section in double column verse by verse because it looks better that way. But they pulled it off. And the thickness size is not too much difference in thickness there. And this is the answer to how do we turn the large print thin line into a paragraph Bible. Boom, they did it. And they did it really, really well, and I love it. I love the Passaggio setting, the Passaggio graph, the Passaggio setting, whatever you want to call it. I really like it. I really like this setting because I don't have anything like this. Lockman has their new 2020 large print compact Bible. In its paragraph format, I don't know if it has the same amount of words per line or not. It does feel like I don't get lost whenever I'm reading this. Sometimes I skip to the wrong line. There's so many words per line that I skip to the wrong line. But to combat that, I use my two middle fingers and I hold them there under the line I'm reading and then move to the next line, next line, next line, and that solves the problem. But where this Bible beats this one is I see the same color that's on the front of this Bible is right down the middle of it also. Now, you can't see it in the video, but I assure you it's there. Leave it. Why is there no Zondervan version of this Bible? It's a great Bible. Why is there no Zondervan version with the nice paper? I'll tell you why there's not the nice paper, okay? Because, look, this one is a smaller Bible, verse by verse, and it's a lot thicker. That's why they don't use that paper on there, because this Bible would be twice as thick as it already is if it used this nicer, creamier paper. Okay, I get it. But we could still get a Zondervan version of this. Who wants the Zondervan? Tell me, hey, who wants the Zondervan? Give me a thumbs up if you want the Zondervan version of this Bible. I know I do. My other minor little gripe, like I've already mentioned, is the words per line. And maybe if it went, I don't know, like that far instead, then I wouldn't get lost. Here's an example where the Passaggio setting, the Passaggio graph handles the prose and poetry section. Obviously a large prose section right here. And then we've got more prose, then paragraph, prose, then paragraph, prose, then paragraph, prose. And sometimes you get a little oddity right in here that could throw you off in a couple of places, but just remember, this prose section is going all the way across the page, and this paragraph section is going down and then up and down again. Psalms are just going to look normal, like any other Bible you have probably, because it's verse format, double column all the way through. And look at this. Now this is where things really start to look good. So look at what it does here in Ecclesiastes. See how all the A's line up? A time to give birth and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. So that looks really good to me. I think sometimes it just really, really pulls it off and does something that's just beautiful. Just look at the Beatitudes over here. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, they shall be comforted. Look at it. It looks good. Sometimes things just need to be verse format, and then sometimes they need to go back into paragraph format. And they do, and it just works, man. It just works. Time for the last word. There are many options for the New American Standard in the 95 text that just gives you a paragraph format, and especially not in an 11-point font size like we have here. Zondervan has given us an inexpensive $34 Bible that doesn't have the blue tint down the gutter. It doesn't have unbearable ghosting. It's not just a good Bible. It has so many features that are good, and this feature's good, and that feature's really good, and that feature's really good. it comes out to be a great Bible, and especially for the price. This is the Bible you want to sit with on the couch, to lay within your bed, and to consume large portions of the Bible in one sitting. This is the kind of Bible you want to have. And Zondervan's given it to us. So thank you, Zondervan. You had this stamp of approval. I love this Bible, and I think you will too. God bless you. It's a great day to love the New American Standard.